It's 18th of March today. We're back in the gym, back doing this lot of sort of alternating between squats and deadlifts for one set. But then, like a few days ago, I came back and I did some bench press as well after this. So I didn't do as many sets on the squats and the deadlifts, but that was purely just because I needed some energy to hit the bench afterwards. And this is probably about the third time I've done this, I reckon. I think normally I'll squat first, then I'll deadlift first, and I'll bench first. But this sort of alternation between squat and deadlift, do my set of squats, minute and a half rest, do my deadlifts, minute and a half rest, back to my squats, and I'm working off between about 1 and 2 minutes rest for these movements. And look, I don't know if there's actually any sort of training benefit to it. I imagine there would be something, possibly in the legs or part of the posterior chain that is involved in both movements. However, I think it's just more of a challenge, and it makes my workout feel a bit more free flowing in that I'm just not locking in and doing one movement over and over and over again. And it's sort of like a superset, but not really, because I'm recovering in between each set. So yeah, and I know supersets are normally used for hypertrophy and stuff like that anyway, and this isn't one of those sessions that's for hypertrophy. It's minimal reps, lifting, for me, heavier weights, especially going pretty much almost a good month without doing any proper deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts or squats. I was only the second session back, so it was just more about getting used to these movements, and I hit the same weights as I did the other week. So obviously with the squats, worked my way up to 80 kilos, and then I just did 80 kilos for 4 reps for 3 sets, which was 1 more rep per set than what I did about 3 or 4 days ago. Just to feel like I'm getting some improvement. I slowly want to work my way up in squats, and I'm sort of liking these sets of 5 reps. So I think if I can work my squat up to 80 kilos for 5 reps, and then be able to comfortably rep it for 5 reps, then I'll be able to increase in rate. Same sort of with the deadlifts. I feel like that has suffered probably the most since I've been away and haven't had good access to a proper gym. I was still doing these 110 kilo trap bar deadlifts with shrugs, and this 110 kilos felt more like lifting 130 kilos in that I was just struggling a little bit using all those accessory muscles, making sure that I have good leg drive, that my core is tight, my back is tight, I'm tight in my upper back, or taut in my upper back as well. So I think this movement will take some time to come back. I'll probably mix in some RDLs and maybe some more conventional barbell deadlifts instead of just purely going the trap bar. Because I definitely noticed as I was working up in my deadlifts, once I started doing RDLs, I started making progressions in my trap bar deadlift quite quicker. So, I might hit those tomorrow, you never know. But we'll see how we go. But the squat, I don't think I've lost anything with the squat. I was still doing bodyweight squats and things like that when I was away, so not too bad. And my legs are feeling strong when I'm running as well. I did those sort of 3 runs on the treadmill this week, and my musculature, my legs felt strong. They weren't fatiguing as quickly. Now, obviously, you get your lactic acid build-up and stuff like that, but if you're a runner and you don't do strength training, you find that you're more injury-prone. You're getting calf strains, you're getting quad niggles, you're getting hamstring tightness and tightness in your lower back and things like that. And then that leads to knee problems and ankle problems because you have deficits that you're not working on. So I feel like, because I've been up to date with at least doing bodyweight squats and still stretching and doing mobility and stuff like that, I'm sort of negating that, and I'm sort of reaping the rewards from that now and feeling really strong in my form, especially over these 20 minutes that I've been doing on the treadmill, I've just been doing these 20-minute running sessions where my treadmill in my gym only sort of locks in for 20 minutes, and I'm just going to do 20 minutes at a pace that I can sustain for that period of time without falling off the treadmill pretty much. So I think my first session was 12 k's an hour, second session was 14 k's an hour, third session was 15 k's an hour on average. Usually at the last 2 minutes, I'll up it to like 16 or 17 k's an hour, and like replicate a strong finish or something like that, to really put some fatigue in on me. So look, that's where all this strength training sort of gets me at the moment. Deadlifts will take a while to come back, and I don't know if this alternation between squat and deadlift is any more taxing for my nervous system than doing them one at a time. I know there's a lot of debate about what fatigues your nervous system more. Is it doing low rate, high reps, high intensity, or is it doing high weight, low reps at a high intensity? And look, I don't read too much into it. I think everything causes some form of CNS fatigue at once, but I think your CNS fatigue is more derived around your ability to make muscle contractions at will, and have quality muscle contractions at will. I think if you're fatigued and your CNS is struggling a little bit, I think you're just generally not able to make those movements well at all, with or without heavy weight on them. So I think that's part of the reason why when I'm warming up, I'm gauging myself with the bar first to see how my squat's feeling and how my deadlift's feeling. And if the bar's not feeling that great, then I know that my CNS and my muscles probably not primed to do a heavier workout that day. But this for me is a little bit more of a challenge. You definitely notice that after doing the squats in your leg drive with the trap bar deadlifts, you get a little bit more fatigued. However, comparing to about 4 days ago, I definitely noticed there was improvement in my leg drive in these deadlifts after mixing in the squats in between each deadlift, 4 days ago. So I think I might keep this up, and then I'll do some sessions where obviously I'll separate the two exercises and do them one after the other, or do one on one day and one on another day, just to see if there's any proof to what I'm thinking, at least in my own head. So I managed to get through this feeling all right. Squat mobility's feeling pretty good. I'm still not all the way where I want to be with the 80 kilos, but I'm getting pretty close. It's probably about maybe an inch or half an inch where I want to get a little bit lower with that 80 kilos. Fast forward a little bit to the bench press. Now the bench press was feeling really good. I don't feel like I lost that much with the bench press. Obviously when I was feeling sick and I had query if I got COVID or I got the flu or whatever, I was still doing push-ups a day, and I was still doing minimum 5 sets sort of thing of push-ups almost every day. So it definitely means I've got good musculature. It definitely means I've got good musculature endurance, in my chest, in my pecs, in my triceps, and things like that. And it's definitely enabled me to work on my stability with my shoulders and my elbows and my wrists as well, doing push-ups. So I think that has translated a little bit to the bar, but in a way where I just haven't lost all of my strength completely. So I was able to, if you warm up with the bar, 30 reps with the bar, different hand grips. Then I moved on to 10 kilos either side, so 40 kilos. Did sort of 10 reps of 40 kilos, went up, did 8 reps of 60 kilos, went up to 70 kilos, did 5 reps of 70 kilos, and then went back down, did another 8 reps of 60 kilos, 12 reps of 40 kilos, and that was pretty much it. It was a little bit of pyramid workout there with the bench. I'll probably hit it again maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, or just to get back to that 70 kilos quicker. I didn't want to continuously hit 70 kilos for too many reps at the time, just because I was a little bit worried about a little bit of tension in my right pec. I didn't want to push anything. I didn't want to blow anything out, because obviously I'm a light guy. I only weigh about 70 kilos, 75 kilos. So when I'm benching 70 kilos, it's quite taxing on me and quite taxing on my joints. I didn't want to put too much stress on my joints and my tendons and my ligaments just yet. I just wanted to prime them for it. So I think this was a good session just to prime the chest and prime those accessory muscles for the work that is to come with the bench. And I think essentially that's probably what I'm doing with the squats and the deadlifts as well, as I'm working my way up to, more so with the deadlifts, hitting those heavier weights, you know, those 130s, 140s, possibly 150s that I was doing a while ago. Very conscious about injury and not trying to overdo things in the gym. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not training for everything. I've got a job that I have to go to earn a living so I can afford where I live and buy food and put fuel in my car and stuff like that. So I can't be overly stupid and go out to a gym and do a deadlift and then pop a disc or, you know, pull or throw my back out, you know, pull something that affects my ability to work and earn an income. So as much as I would love to go out there and just try and fucking hit, you know, max weights and really dig in there and try and push myself, I know it's a little bit unreasonable and it's a little bit silly, because, you know, that is not my job, and that's not what's going to feed me and, you know, going to shelter me and things like that. So I need to be mindful. That's, you know, another reason why I didn't do those 70 kilos for more than 5 reps as well. You'll see here in a second what I mean by that, because you'll notice in the vision that I was lifting my ass off the bench quite a lot to get leverage to do that bench. Now I'm one for arching your back properly and things like that, but I was really lifting off, trying to get leverage for that. So I felt myself just not 100% ready to perform that movement. Yeah, you can see how I really lift up, and, you know, I'm pushing through my calves and I'm trying to get leverage for it. So it's probably just a little bit of shock to the body, because it hasn't felt that weight for a good month. So hopefully that improves in the coming weeks, and I get some more quality reps and quality sets out of it. They did change the bench at this gym as well, so it's more square and boxy. It's not as rounded anymore, so I don't feel like I'm going to have to fall off it and throw a shoulder out or something like that, you know, doing bench press. So look, I think it was a productive workout. It was another workout where I'm doing the bigger movements again, the big squat, the big bench, the big deadlift. Maybe tomorrow I might just do a bit of bench, maybe some RDLs, and then probably some arms and shoulders and a bit of maintenance on the cables and stuff like that, just to keep all the joints and everything else in good step. But look, that's probably all from me today. That's enough of my spieling. So thank you very much. Cheers, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow, eh?